Hi and welcome to RC Modders, and this the second video in the series which I've been doing on the Kyosho EP Pajero 8 scale truck. For those of you who follow the channel and saw the video which I made last year when it turned up from Tenerife, you might find it interesting to see what I've done with it and see it taken out for a quick run. So in terms of the things I've done, I've actually tried to do minimal changes, and I'll just run through those very quickly. First of all, I've installed a Novac 55 turn rock crawler motor. That is actually much better for my purposes. When it was first designed, I think that this model was designed to fly around, and really I think it was before the age of people being into the RC rock crawling and scalers on a large scale. And the only alternative that I was aware of at the time was the Tamiya 3-speed, and I think I've got about 4 of those, and I probably should go back and do some more videos of those as well. The second thing which I did was I put in a modern speed controller. That is not only much more controllable, but it's going to give me much better battery life as well. In the front, I've installed one of those budget 20 kilogram servos, and that is actually very nice on the steering. Radio control wise, I'm just using a Spectrum DX3C with an orange aftermarket compatible receiver, and I've managed to retain the original, I think it was ACOM's power switch, but I've actually wired that into the speed controller so that it's easy to turn on and off from the outside, because when you put the body on with these pieces here, as well as the fact that the body goes very close to the chassis plate, you can't actually get your hands inside here, which is great from the point of view of keeping the mud and the debris out, but not great if you're trying to turn the thing on and off. And having just got my new Prusa printer, I thought I'd do a quick bit of designing on the Tinkercad, and so I designed mounts here for the rear clips, which seemed to work very well. It only took about 10 minutes to design that, and actually another clip here that I'm using with a thick rubber band to hold the battery in. I will put links in the description to any of the parts that I bought, and also I'll put these parts here up on Thingiverse and a link in the description too. The other thing which I've done is I'm using RC 4-wheel drive rock stomper tyres, and I think that these are the smaller version that they made, and I'm using standard Axial beadlock wheels. One thing which I did find was I actually wanted a slightly greater offset, particularly so that the front tyres weren't bashing on the suspension mounts. And what I did, again on the Tinkercad, I designed myself some spacers. I made some at 1mm I think, and some at 2mm, and I was able just to slip those onto the axles before I put the wheels on, and to allow me just to increase the track very slightly. That has worked out well, I'm quite pleased with that. So that is also included in the Thingiverse link that I'm going to put into the description. One of the things with this truck that I never quite liked was the fact that the rear wheels always look as if they're too far inside the body. So I've actually drilled a couple of holes and I screwed the body right into the side here, and it might even be that, given that the body's 30 years old, that it's going to stretch and move out over time, and I think that that improves the look quite a bit. So I'll just get the body on and then we'll take it out for a spin. And I know that the dog is anxious to have a dog walk, so I will do both things at the same time. Just before we go, one thing that I would say is it's worth bearing in mind that this car has not only got differentials between each side and either end, and they're open differentials, but it's actually got an open differential between the front and the back. So in many ways that's likely to limit its performance, but these wheels, the front ones, have actually got quite a bit of lead inside that I put in there years ago, and that helps it go along too. I think the fact that the model is quite large and is quite heavy helps it in that respect, but it'll be interesting to see what it manages to do in the forest. Well, what do I think then? Well, obviously it isn't going as well as a fully locked up modern crawler or scaler, but I don't think that's really the point. I could have altered it to have those characteristics, but I really didn't want to spoil a vintage model. But at the same time, I didn't want to shelf queen either. I kind of don't do that. So I think that all in all, I think it's capable enough, but actually requires some more skillful driving, which incidentally isn't that easy when you've got a dog lead in one hand and a radio control transmitter in the other. Anyway, I think I'll probably end the video here. The dog wants to get off the lead and I need to concentrate on her rather than driving the truck. I hope you found this useful or interesting. Please post any of your comments or questions in the comments section below. And until the next time, as ever, thank you very much for watching.